Yeah, what's up? This is Hyper Marshall Occurrence. Rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-telepathy all day, anti-America all day, and everybody with him. Yeah. So this video is going to be about the NYPD having sex and having sexual interactions with a 15-year-old girl. The NYPD, folks. Boys in blue who you trust and believe everything they say is true. Right here in New York City, I'm going to tell you about the NYPD and what they've done. Because they try to go around sounding their sirens. I already know where your credibility is at. I've been to it for some time now. So please harp down with your sirens. Harp down with your sirens. I'm trying to get some rest. I'm trying to take it easy. If not rest, I'm trying to take it easy. Because your credibility is gone. This is how anarchy is going to start if the world tarries. Anarchy is going to start because there is no credibility with the police. Why would you trust them? Why would you respect them? Why would you abide when they're breaking laws? They're breaking the same laws that you break. So why do you need to submit to them as a superior, as an enforcer of the law? You don't. They break into, and so what are we going to do? We're going to wait till 1 million cops are guilty of crimes before this system collapses? What is it going to take for the police in America, that system, what is it going to take for the American police system to collapse? We're going to wait for 1 million people to be killed. We're going to wait for 1 million crimes. You can't wait that long. So it has to be less than 1 million crimes and actions that these people do. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So, I'm already at the point where I don't respect them. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect police because I know too much of what they have done. You may not know, but I know stuff they've done. And I feel it's necessary to release it. I feel it's real necessary to release it. So I'm basically going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about 2 officers that that messed with a 15-year-old girl. 2 officers that messed with a 15-year-old girl right here in New York. NYPD, buddy. NYPD. Can't stress it enough. New York Police Department. Because these people walk around like they holy. Y'all act like they holy. They don't intimidate me. I don't perk up when I see them. You just like me. And I found out you're worse than most people, even when it comes to crimes. So I'm just gonna get right into it. But like I said, before I do, I can't stress enough. This is why anarchy is gonna happen. These things that I'm sharing with you. Because people are going to feel that it's legitimate not to obey these people. Why obey somebody who's doing what you do? Because they get a paycheck? Because the government gave them a badge? And you do the same things, if not worse, than the American community do. You've done everything. And I'm gonna show you right here. I'm gonna have another video after this. I'm gonna show you how they've done everything. And how long are you gonna wait before you're gonna say, I don't abide by these laws of these guys of no integrity, these people who have broken the same laws that I've broken, or they have broken the law, not the same laws, but they have broken the law they have broken laws like we have. So why should we obey these people? It doesn't take perfection to abide by the law. And yet these police who have so many laws in their head, so many things they've looked at all these different things of character to become a police officer. They had to have all these tests of character and integrity, and they turn around and break laws just like you. So why should you abide by it? Why should you comply with these officers? Maybe someone else. But this is how anarchy is going to start, because no one is going to want to comply to offers to people who are a part of a system who break laws like we do. My time, I don't comply with them. And this is where unrest is going to happen. This is where I'm not a person who follows anarchy as a philosophy, but the obvious is the obvious. I mean, all it's going to take is horrific enough of crimes for people to not comply with these officers who are part of a system of officers that are breaking the laws just like everybody else. It would be different if you have people that did not break the law. It would be different if you had people that did not have a track record of killing people, and it was a law-breaking killing. That would be a different situation. But how much are people going to take? The government, they're going to throw them out there just like, some slum dirty situation. They're just going to keep throwing them out there like some funky slum situation. They're going to keep throwing them out there. When are the community citizens going to say, I'm not complying with these people they putting out here? That's when anarchy is going to start. When people just don't comply no more. They just stop complying. When you realize, and it's already happening, when you realize they break the same laws, when they realize that they're breaking the same laws that we're all breaking. Well, they're breaking laws like we break laws. As a community speaking. Some of you don't break laws, but you get the point. They're breaking laws like everyone else that break laws here in America. Okay? Okay, so we're gonna get into it. All right, so there was two officers involved in having sex with a 15-year-old girl here in New York City. The information concerning what they concluded was released in March of last year. So this is not some old 1993 information. The information was released March. Let me see right quick. March. Let's see here. March. Well, I didn't have an actual. I thought I had an actual day, but it was March 2021. So that's less than a year ago. Just now coming on a year, where the information was released that they concluded that the girl was raped by these officers. This girl was raped by New York PD officers. It was determined to have that the girl was raped, and they concluded this in 2021, last year, and no one protested. No one protested. This was released in March, all in the springtime, basically in the springtime, at the top of the springtime. And none of the New York community protested. And see, this is what I'm telling you. Like, where you guys are, people who say you're about that life of protecting children, keep it to yourself, because don't bring it around my way to a person like me, because I go by activity. I go by people being proactive. I don't go by that little hood politics, street politics foolishness. If you really are about protecting children, then be about that life. Other than that, keep it to your personal self, just like people keep religion to themselves, they keep their sexual orientation to themselves. If you protect children and you're not proactive and you're not about that life, then don't try to rise up against someone in your community. Rise up against these police. Rise up against the laws that allow children to have sex in 40 states. Rise up against that. Rise up against a system that allowed the age of consent to be at 7 years old in America. Having the world record for the lowest age of consent in the whole world, America. Rise up against that if you're about that life. Otherwise, just keep it to yourself like anything else. That's all I'm saying. Because you're a hypocrite. You're not fighting the real adversaries concerning children. You're not doing that. So I'm not going to sit back and watch people take advantage of convenient adversaries when you're not fighting the real adversary concerning the very object or the dynamic that you're call yourself protecting. Okay, so I'm going to name the officer. The officer is Officer Sanad Musallam. That's the first officer. And the other officer is Officer Yaser Shohatee. Yaser Shohatee. Okay? So I'm just going to go through the information, the basic nuggets of the information. The teen was troubled and unhealthy. She was troubled and unhealthy teen. So she wasn't some fast girl out, that caught their attention. She was troubled and unhealthy, which means basically equates that she was beat down. The mother of this teen, 15-year-old girl, gave Officer Sanad Musallam the girl's phone number. So the mother gave the officer the girl's phone number. This is how much people trust the police, folks. This wouldn't have never happened if this woman did not trust the police. I'm telling you, you shouldn't trust them. This is how it all happened. The mother gave Officer Sanad Musallam the girl's phone number. This is the facts. This is not, like I told you, none of my videos are, so that you know, are conspiracy. I'm going to hit hardcore facts. And if I don't have hardcore facts, I'm not doing a video. Okay? If I don't have facts that I can show you, this is how I move. I don't move with that speculation, opinionated stuff. I have facts, okay? So the mother gave Sanad Musallam the girl's phone number. This is how it all started. Trusting the police, that's how it all started. Officer Sanad suggested that the 15-year-old girl join a youth program of the New York Police Department called Explorers. How ironic, huh? So Officer Sanad suggested, after the mother gave Officer Sanad the girl's phone number, that she joined a police youth program. See where I'm going with this? Called the Explorers. He should kill himself just for messing with a girl in a group in the police department called the Explorers. And you explored her, and you should kill yourself for that. Officer Sanad, you should kill yourself. Okay? This is a youth program for 14-year-old to 20-year-old girls that's part of the police department, not the Girl Scouts, not part of the Girl Scout programs, extended age programs for age for extended teen youth, older youth, not the YMCA program. This program was part of the NYPD. It was right in the belly of the beast. And they told, and Officer Sanad suggested that she should join. The 15-year-old girl should join. So she joined. The kid then told her mother that her and the two officers had been sending hundreds of text messages. So this is when it broke out. For whatever reason, she went to her mother about it. She went to her mother about the two officers sending hundreds of text messages to her. It gets worse. Musallam, that's the other art. That's the other. Is that the same one? Let me see. I want to make sure. Yeah, I have my stuff right. Oh yeah, that's still Sanad. Sanad Musallam, Officer Sanad Musallam asked the girl to send revealing pictures. So he's the one set it off. She wasn't flirting with the cops. He set it off and asked her to send revealing pictures. A 15-year-old girl now, you done went through all that training, copper, you done went through all that training, and you turning around and asking a 15-year-old troubled girl in one of your youth programs to send you basically butt pics, booty pics. Send revealing pics. He probably said something to that degree. Musallam had her perform a sex act with her hand in his cop car. Same man, same officer. Same officer asked this girl to perform a sex act with her hand in his cop car, which means she jacked him off in a cop car where he's supposed to be serving the community in. Folks, this should have been, the president, everybody should have been talking about this. You tell me why Donald Trump and them wasn't talking about this. Tell me why, y'all. You got a good reason? This is big as it gets. I mean, this is headline. We want to know. Why wasn't it done? You want me to tell you why? Because when stuff happens in America, everybody that's real bad, that's really bad, not the gossip sipping tea stuff. When it's bad and incriminates the integrity of the American community or government, either one, American community or American government, if it's real bad, everybody gets quiet. Watch them. Mark my words. Watch next time, sometime when you find out something, right? When it's not sipping tea stuff like they try to do with me and other people, not that kind of stuff. Real, hardcore, factual, character, corruption stuff. They get quiet. Okay? So Sanad Musallam had the girl jack him off in his cop car. This is where they're getting physical. This is where they got physical. This, I guess, the first time. Now, here's the other officer. 4 or 5 times the teenager said, Shohatee. Now, this is the other officer, Officer Yaser Shohatee. This is the other officer. He had her visit his apartment alone in the middle of the night. Now, what you think they did? You think they played the tuba? You think she learned to play the Game of Thrones theme song with French horns? You think they was playing French horns in the middle of the night? Okay? 4 or 5 times the girl said Shohatee had her visit his apartment alone in the middle of the night. 4 or 5 times, guys. Now, you know what happened. 4 or 5 times, they were having sex. Straight out. Bottom line. Wasn't playing French horns. Tell you that. She wasn't learning how to play a flute. Okay? Now, this is what happened. This is NYPD. Oh, it gets worse. After her daughter told her, the mother, this is referring to the mother, after her father told her what happened, the mother filed a complaint. The mother tried. She filed a complaint with Internal Affairs. Both officers were placed on modified duty in June 2018 while the NYPD investigated. You see how long ago? This was only just less than 4 years ago. Here's other information. Remind you, all the information went through last March. They determined that the two officers raped this girl last March. Remind you. So this has been ongoing. This information came out to the public in March, and people could have protested, and they could have marched, and they didn't. This is why I'm showing you your American community is not about that life, and so I'm not going to let them play with me. And you shouldn't let them play with you. Okay, because the information was released about these officers right here in New York raping this girl in March 2021. March 2021. That's just last year. Nobody protested. Nobody said nothing because it's shame on your community. That's why. Okay. And Shohatee asked if she would be down to have sex. Now this is the that's obviously before she came to his apartment. Would she be down to have sex? An NYPD assistant deputy commissioner determined this past March, 2021's March, that both officers had raped the girl when she was 15 and capable of consenting to sex. These are fully grown men, folk, that serve your community, that was right here, probably drove past this apartment, probably drove past it somewhere in your borough. If not on the job, probably just driving by. They probably, if you're a New Yorker, they probably drove by you. The officers denied the allegations. The officers denied it. That's awful. They did all this and denied it. The NYPD fired the officers. Neither officers were criminally charged. I could just throw up my hands. None of the officers were criminally charged. None. They just got fired. Losing occupation is not being held to justice. You can go get another job. Being held to justice is being locked in jail. Not a lack of a job. That's not being held accountable. That's not being taken away from the community. Justice is taking them away from the community so it don't happen again. Lack of a job doesn't stop them from interacting with the community. These are morons we're dealing with here. The girl was determined to have been raped in March 21. I'm giving you this information again. And no one protested, folks, about them not being criminally charged. See, this is where the rubber meets the road, folks. This is where the rubber meets the road because, see, I'm not playing no games. You understand? This is real, factual stuff. These New York PD cops getting jacked off in a cop car. Same cop car that the girl should find refuge in. She should look at the cop car and find relief in her soul from whatever dangers that she would be facing. In a scenario that she was facing dangers, she should find refuge and comfort in seeing the cop car. And yet, the same kind of vehicle, she was giving a hand job to an officer, jacking off and making an officer ejaculate in a cop car. That's what happened. He didn't just have her fondle him. She gave him a hand job till he ejaculated. We know this. Ejaculating in a cop car from a 15-year-old girl. This is why the world is falling apart, guys. While you're talking about we are the world, I'm showing you the people who say that stuff. We are the world stuff. This girl was in a program in the police department. How worse can it get? He preyed on a troubled teen in a youth program that's part of the police department called Explorers. I'm going to look that up when I get some time. And that bastard took advantage of this beat down girl. Don't know really what her problems was. Took advantage of this beat down girl. Had her jacking him off in his cop car. Don't even care nothing about her, how this could traumatize her or make her feel later on in life. From a cop. That's part of the trauma. That a cop would do this to a person. A fully grown person, not some child, an adult cop, a funky, musty adult cop, had this girl come to his apartment 4 to 5 times. Not one time, 4 to 5 times. And they sent hundreds of texts between each other.